Halloween has been my favorite of all of the horror movie slasher films for about as long as I can remember. Probably since the first time I saw Halloween, I've always really enjoyed the frightening villain of Michael Myers, the lack of any kind of emotion. It's scary, and it's different than Freddy. Freddy's great. He's got the sense of humor. Original kind of kills. Jason is just like over the top and can be, of course, scary in his own. But Michael Myers, there's some kind of real threat there. I feel like where Jason and Freddy are a little more imaginative and not as real world, I guess I would say. So I've liked pretty much all of them. Some more than others. Obviously, 1 and 2 are the best. I wasn't crazy about the Rob Zombie movies. They were okay, but they kind of lack some of the charm, I guess you could say, of the originals. So when they did Halloween 2018, I liked it because it was bringing Carpenter back. It had Laurie Strode in it again, continuing her storyline as if some of the others hadn't happened, where she finally gets killed in one of the previous ones. She's back. She's picking up her story from Halloween 2, and of course, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. So I was happy what they did. Now, I saw this article because I know, the Halloween Kills was supposed to be coming out. Now, obviously, it's delayed because of everything, the shutdowns and whatnot. So, CBR puts out an article. I know, CBR. It's a lot of our favorites. Halloween Kills. The title doesn't mean what you think it does. Not the best starting point there. New details about Halloween Kills indicate that the iconic slasher franchise is going in a new direction for the upcoming sequel. New directions aren't always good. In fact, most recently they have been pretty bad. While Halloween Kills may have been delayed by a full year, new details about the latest installment of the iconic slasher franchise have surfaced based on comments from returning filmmaker David Gordon Green. Green indicated that while Michael Myers is still very much on the loose and ready to kick off a new killing spree to the denizens of Haddonfield, the townspeople will change their approach to dealing with the shape. And if Green's hints are any indicator, not only does it up the ante for Halloween night in Haddonfield, but takes the long-running film series to a fresh new direction. A lot of times, when franchises these days go in a fresh new direction, it ends up rotten. Green revealed that the working title for the upcoming sequel has been Mob Rules. Mob Rules. It's starting to sound familiar. Teasing that Haddonfield would become outraged with the news that Myers was on the loose again and cutting a path across town in the immediate aftermath of the 2018 revival film. Angered that their local law enforcement had failed. They allow the notorious serial killer to claim a growing number of victims. The community is divided on how to deal with Myers' renewed threat. Boy, why does this sound so familiar? Am I watching a Halloween film or am I watching the nightly news? I don't know. With several of the townspeople evidently going on a hunt for him to take matters into their own hands. Don't trust the police. They can't do it for you. Go out there and take matters in your own hands. That sounds very, very familiar. This seems to indicate that Halloween Kills isn't necessarily about the shape and killing, although he inevitably will, but it's more about the entire community that has descended into anger and violence to bring down the infamous slasher before he can leave any more victims in his wake. It's starting to feel like Michael Myers is a metaphor for something else, doesn't it? This change in direction is an expansion of Laurie Strode's character arc in the previous film on a communal scale. In 2018, the film revealed Laurie had spent the interim 40 years since Myers' initial assault preparing for the eventuality of his escape and new confrontation, working outside of the law to obsessively bring him down herself. And while Laurie will reportedly spend much of the sequel in the hospital recuperating from the grievous injuries she injured at Myers' hands in the previous film, that sounds a lot like Halloween Part 2, where she also spent the whole movie in the hospital recuperating from the injuries. The obsession will take on a new fury in her granddaughter, Allison, with Green indicating that she would become the prominent figure leading the hunt. I'm okay with that, though. I'm okay with Halloween's always been about the strong female protagonist. Laurie Strode was Jamie Lee Curtis was the original Scream Queen. So I'm okay with the granddaughter. I don't have a problem with that. They kind of set it up in the last movie anyway. The final shot of the previous film foreshadowed this, with the teenager last seen tightly gripping Myers' signature kitchen knife, clearly traumatized by her nightmarish encounters with the Shape. She did get to see her grandmother, Laurie Strode, kind of be a badass and deal with the Shape, Michael Myers. So I'm okay with it. Makes sense. While the law enforcement figures and the main characters have certainly tried to stay one step ahead of Michael Myers and stop his latest rampage, the citizens of Haddonfield have largely played a more passive role when confronted with the numerous resurgences. The closest it comes in Halloween 4, when there was a mob of truckers who ganged up to go after them, but they worked with the police. They weren't like defund the police and go after them on your own kind of thing. But they did sort of get together. It was a slight variation, very, very slight. If the 2018 Halloween was the examination of how one woman was fundamentally affected by her experience with the Shape, Halloween Kills takes that impact and expands it to all of Haddonfield. It makes sense when it's Laurie, though. It makes sense when it was her. It felt like it was organic. This starting to feel like it's more preachy to the circumstance we're dealing with in our real world right now, rather than escapism. It seems like it's a little too real world. Movies are supposed to take you away, not bring you into what you just left when you walked inside the theater. I want to walk inside the theater and forget about all that out there. But that's not how films and movies and shows are going these days. So, as the enraged community rises up to take matters into their own hands, fed up with Michael Myers' unchecked killing, the slasher is sure to take advantage of the chaos and divisions running through the small town, as a community will likely tear itself apart because of the murderous influence. Aren't communities tearing themselves apart out there? Is there a Michael Myers that's taking advantage of this situation? Well, I will let you answer that question. Don't drag me into this. This is for you to answer, so I will leave it there. But overall, I don't know. I think you shouldn't bring too much real world politics and societal occurrences into when it's a driving force in the movie. Of course, all movies deal with these things. They're used as metaphors, as allegories, but when it seems like it's overtly in your face, like this has a feeling that it might be. Again, I don't know yet. I don't know, I guess a year out still from seeing this movie. I hope it's good. I really do, because I like Halloween. I like the last one. But I'm just starting to get the feeling that it's following this trend. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button and become a subscriber. And for, goodness sakes, if you haven't given the video a thumbs up, give the video a thumbs up. Share it. Get it out there in the world, in the interwebs. And I thank you guys for watching. Until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.